Good morning, my fellow family, friends, and colleagues. This is your girl, Dr. Charity, aka the Queen of Divas, and I'm here to give you your weekly encouragement on today. Well, on this beautiful, gorgeous, very humid summer day, I hope and pray that all who are tuning in right now under the sound of my voice is still tapping into it. Tapping into what you deserve and what you desire. I'm going to keep saying it until you don't believe nothing else. Because what it is, whatever it may be that you are desiring and know that you are deep down inside deserving of, is closer than you think. It's not down there around the corner, 2 miles around to the left, and over there a couple of miles over. No, it's closer than you think. Let's try right here. Let's try within eyesight distance. It's not as far as you think. It's just like when you're driving. They tell you pay attention because in the rearview mirror, things actually look further than what they are. They're closer than what it seems in the mirror. And the same thing is with your promise, with what you deserve and desire. It's closer than you think. So, as I've told you continuously, the time for the action is not later. The time to act is now. Begin to act and do what you need to do now so you are in the right position and you are ready to receive it, because your reception time is not far. You'd be surprised. If only you could actually know the exact day you'd be speed going into what you need to do, and probably would be having a field day in the mind because of the fact you'd be just having a freak out because it is like, oh my God, I don't have much time to do anything. Well, that's why I'm telling you today, do what you got to do now to make sure you're in the right place and in the right mindset to receive that which you rightfully deserve and desire, because it's closer than you think. Well, that's enough of that. But on today, I want to utilize and give an empowering motivation. I want to give an empowering weekly encouragement to you out there who are tuning in, utilizing my own testimony. As I've told you, I'm in a transition mode. Things are happening in my life that I've never seen. It's good. It's what I prayed for. But it's what the workload that comes with it is just amazing. And it's taken me out of the comfort zone that I've been enjoying for years and years and years. And it's forcing me to become a bigger and better woman than I was previously. But today I want to reach out. Does anybody feel like that I in this valley stage that I am, it just feels like I'm alone? I'm lonely. Nobody understands me. Anybody feels like that today? Anybody that's tuning in feels like you're alone? Feels like every time you try to explain what you're being faced with, regardless if the battle is physical, mental, emotional, or even spiritual. Anybody feels like there's just not one human being that understands? Anybody feels like it's just a lonely journey? I'm by myself and just nobody knows. Anybody feel like that today? If you're tuning in today, you're who I'm talking to. You're who I'm talking to. I want to give a motivational to you. I want to empower you and motivate you that indeed that is nothing but part of the transition. That doesn't mean that the promise is not here. It means that you got to endure because the promise is near. Take that into consideration. I'm going to repeat that again. It doesn't mean that the promise is not here. It means that you got to endure just a little bit longer because the promise is near. Well, if I had to give this weekly encouragement a title, it would be simple. Triumph through your transition. You can do it. Let that resonate for a minute. Triumph through your transition, because you can do it. Well, to those who are not in that crew of being misunderstood or feeling alone, and says today, Dr. Charity, triumph. Triumph through what transition? I don't understand what that means. I'm glad you asked. I want you to listen in just for a few minutes. Give me a few minutes of your time and just tune in for a minute. Listen in. For even those who may not be in that valid state, most folks is either in it, coming out of it, or about to go in. So this empowering motivational is for you, and it's going to empower you. It's going to prepare you. It's going to empower those who are going through, and it's going to prepare those who are about to be faced with it. So just let me in for a few minutes. There is a transition stage. That's what that valley, I told you before, that valley stage of after being promised or being told or hearing a word or having a dream and confirmation comes in that something is about to happen in your life. Then all of a sudden it seems like when you turn around at the blink of an eye, nothing adds up. Even when you want to explain to somebody what's been said, done, confirmed, there's nothing in the natural eye that meets up to what was already spoken or revealed in the spiritual realm, which those who are spiritually based know that every promise and every acclamation is confirmed in spirituality, in the spiritual realm, before it is manifested in the natural. That's why anything that is given to you, you can't share to everybody, because that's how you become misunderstood. You can't share with everybody because everybody is not going to believe it, because guess what? You're receiving confirmation from up here, and there's no manifestation down here. So it makes you look crazy. As Gnarls Barkley said, maybe I'm crazy. Possibly. But you're not. I want to encourage you on today to triumph through the transition. The transition is to build and bring out of you the best of you. I understand that it is a place where you don't have much support around at times. It's a place where you're alone. It's a place where you're greatly misunderstood. But I'm here to give you an encouragement and a motivation and an empowering today that guess what? When you triumph through the transition, in any time that feels like it's getting worse and there's almost nobody, little to nobody around, that means the promise is near and closer than you think. It does take putting on and growing up and coming out of the comfort zone, if I told you my own testimony. But it's worth it. Triumph through your transition. You can do it. I'm telling you today that you can do it. It is not impossible. Just because it don't look like what it is doesn't mean that what it is not coming. I said like the Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts said on Saturday. A lot of times we get frustrated in the now because the now doesn't look like what the Spirit and God Himself promised us. But that doesn't mean that the promise is null and void. It means just hold on just a little while longer. Endure just a little while longer. Because the more harder you got to push through that transition, the more closer you are to it. It's when it gets a little bit harder when things are about to be a little bit better. So when the storm becomes as worse, when you know that the sun is about to come out and burst. The storm gets worse before it gets better. And when it starts getting worse, then you know the sun is about to come out of that cloud. Can't rain all day, can't storm all day. The sun and the promise of the rainbow got to come out. So I'm here to tell you today that indeed triumph through your transition. You can do it. I'm going to use my own testimony. With what I'm being faced with, it has taken me out of my comfort zone. And as I went to meditate on yesterday, and I went to discover peace, for where there's peace, there's much liberty. So I went to obtain some peace of mind, peace of my spirit. Because this is what I'm going through. It's a great transition, but it's also an emotional roller coaster. It takes you up and down. You're not always on a smooth trail. You're not always going down and enjoying. Sometimes you're going up and get stuck. And sometimes it gives you a headache. But at the end of the day, I went to meditate, went to myself, because sometimes we got to steal away. So I went to meditate. I went to talk and meditate with God and with my guardian angels, being my late great grandmother of Lula Mae Little and my late great auntie that helped raise me of Elna Little. And I went to meditate. And where I went, I found great comfort and great peace. I went down there and poured my heart out. I was crying like a baby and pouring my heart out, because this transition right here in my life is making me feel like nobody understands, making me feel like people are looking at me like I'm crazy. But when I went and opened up and poured my heart, for out and from the heart are the issues of the heart. When I poured it out, I received great confirmation that I am doing what's right. I am on the right path. The only thing that I was told yesterday is now is the time to become the woman. Put on the big woman drawers. It's time now. You can't fake being a woman. You can't be a girl and portray. You're gonna have to take the little girl panties off and be a woman. Put on the woman drawers and go in a woman. Go in the woman that you are meant and appointed to be. So after I gained the peace, I left believing. Even though it's hard and the transition is not easy, because it's bringing me out of a comfort zone that I've been in since I was 19 years old. But I left knowing that I have to do this. If I want to see the promise, I've got to triumph and go through and endure just a little while longer through this transition, so I can be the best, that I can receive the best that is waiting on me right around the corner. So, with my own testimonial, I am encouraging you as well as myself that you can do it. Today, I want you to go through this week, beginning on today, knowing you can do it. Triumph through the transition. You will have to come out of the comfort zone. You will have to put on manly boxers and put on woman drawers. But at the end of the day, it is worth it. If you want to see the promise is not null and void, it's waiting on you, as I've been telling you consistently. You're not waiting on it, it's waiting on you. But you have to endure and decide that I am going to triumph through the transition. I will endure. I shall, I must, I will. And believe and start believing on today. It is going to make you bigger and better than you've ever imagined, because bigger and better is waiting on you right near. So the time is now to believe. You just gotta believe that I can and I will and I must triumph through the transition, for greater and the best waits on. Well, that's all that I have for you on today, but tune in next week for another weekly encouragement. Subscribe to Lady Superwoman on YouTube at Lady Superwoman 9999 for all of your weekly encouragements. Know that I love and appreciate every last one of you, and remember, beginning on today, to triumph through the transition, for greater lies and waits not down here for you, but it waits right here, right within eyesight, if you just endure and hold on a little bit longer. It may take you out the comfort zone, but it's going to make you the best for you to obtain and receive the best that waits for you right now. I'll see you next week. Love you.